Streets reporter of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Appreciate y'all tuning in again, man. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop if you actually want to support the movement. Get yourself some paraphernalia, man. Bring yourself the voice for the people. You dig what I'm saying? We got the iceberg white hoodie like this, you know what I'm saying? But we got it in different colors, shapes, and sizes as well. So definitely, and we got different products too: pants, mugs, towels. You know what I mean? You can support in mad ways and support us as we continue to support y'all. Now, give y'all this real. Now, y'all remember that massacre that happened just on Tuesday in the Atlanta area of Georgia, where a gunman actually went to 3 different spas run by Asians and shot shit up. You know what I'm saying? Ended up, this gunman was actually suspected gunman Robert Aaron Long, 21-year-old white boy, was actually been arrested and has actually been charged with 8 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault. Now, 7 of the victims were women and 6 of them were Asian people. So at the end of the day, it's looked at as like a hate crime. You know, the Asian American community is in the uproar. However, you have Captain Jay Baker, the spokesperson for the Cherokee County Sheriff's Department, actually coming out on record saying that the attack wasn't racially motivated, but it actually had to do with his sex addiction. And then goes on to say that, you know, it wasn't, this was somebody who, you know, had a bad day and was fed up and, you know, went out to these places, but, you know, it didn't have anything to do with race. Now, first off, who are you to say that, right? Like, but second off, it just sounded like a weird, like this just happened. How you gonna speak for that man and say what it was or was not about without much of an investigation? Well, you got other people not buying it too, like Congressman for California, Democrat Ted Lieu, also an Asian American, basically saying like, yeah, we all have bad days. He puts this in the tweet. We all have bad days, but I mean, we go to 3 Asian-run businesses and you know start shooting. And at the end of the day, he doesn't believe that this sheriff's department will actually conduct an honest investigation. So he's calling on the FBI to open its own independent investigation. We'll see how that turns out. All of this is coming as BuzzFeed News actually reported that the Captain Jay Baker actually had posted anti-Asian, you know, racist rhetoric on social media during 2020, as well as like, you know, posting images or whatever, like coming at Asian people. I guess he on that Trump train because Trump had a lot of people basically being anti-China, from his trade wars to definitely last year with the China virus or the Kung flu. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how this all turns out, though. Racism is ugly, though, no matter what color what colors are involved. You know what I'm saying? Green War and Graduation. Streets reporter of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So out there in the House of Representatives for the United States, they actually have voted to reauthorize the Violence Against Women's Act. This is an act that was actually allowed to expire under the Trump presidency. So it was go figure, you know what I'm saying? Because I think to enable an act like that, but then also as a president be accused of sexual assault almost 24 times, if not more, it seemed like there's a conflict of interest there. You know what I mean? How can the two exist? And that I'm talking about President Trump. I mean, Biden, he got his own problems being touchy with people, but that's a whole nother thing. Now, this only 29 Republicans actually joined Democrats in voting to reauthorize this act. However, now that the House has voted on it, now it's going to the Senate, and the Senate is evenly divided party-wise. We'll see where their morals lined up. Green War and Graduation. Reporter of the New World of the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. It's a little nippy out here, but fuck it, I'll let the hair show, you know what I'm saying? But you got the World Health Organization. They're actually saying that they are actually recommending the continued use of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, even after multiple nations have actually suspended the distribution of said vaccine due to there being concerns over blood clotting. I mean, there was reports of blood clotting happening in Denmark, and even 1 person had died. But you have the epidemiologist for the World Health Organization, Maria von Kerkhove, actually saying that the use of the vaccine far outweighs the risk, and that you know, we know that there are good vaccines out there, and it is important that people get vaccinated if they can when it's their turn. So, you know, that's where WHO stands on the situation. I mean, Listen, I'm a black man from America, and I'm from I rep the conscious community. And you already know what type of time I'm on. You know what I mean? Green Wall graduation, though. Report of the New World Order Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Brazil, you got the right-wing president over there, Jair Bolsonaro, actually appointing his fourth health minister since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, mind you, this is somebody that called COVID-19 a little flu. You know what I'm saying? He's opposed to doing lockdowns and all of that. Well, now his country is out of control. Like, the healthcare system is said to be on the brink of collapse because the hospitals are swelling up with all of these new COVID-19 patients. 90,000 new infections of COVID-19 just on Wednesday alone in Brazil. And that is actually accompanied with 5,500 deaths over the last 2 days in Brazil. So they're seeing a lot of a crazy surge. And that 90,000 new infections, that's the first time they've seen numbers like that since the pandemic began, since the start of the pandemic. So it's, you know, people are worried about down there. We'll see if anything changes on the political government front as far as like these mandates and lockdowns and all of that. You know what I mean? Green Wall and graduation. Streets reporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. The United Nations actually is reporting that there may have been 239,000 people indirectly who died indirectly from COVID-19. 239,000 mothers and children throughout South Asia. They are saying this is because of the rise in poverty that the pandemic has caused, as well as interruptions in immunizations, medical care, and treatment for malnutrition. So that's just a number to keep in mind. That's a lot of bodies. Green Wall and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/music. See all the music that we have, you know what I mean, from my compilation album, New World Order, to all the solo albums that I have actually put out on there. More projects to come, man. So continue to support us. We continue to support y'all, giving y'all this real now. The president of Tanzania, John Magufuli, actually has died at age 61. Now, the vice president of Tanzania actually said that Magufuli actually died of heart failure, but he hasn't been seen since late February, the president that is. So it leads people to suspect that he actually had COVID-19. Now, this is somebody, the president that is a COVID-19 denier. You know, they mock people who wore face masks and didn't put in any public health measures. And this is also somebody who has cast doubts over vaccines, recommended prayer, and herbal remedies, and all of that. So the country itself hasn't reported on COVID-19 data since April 2020. However, there are doctors that are sending reports in Dar es Salaam that is talking about that a surge of respiratory problems with their patients may be the sign of a hidden epidemic. Green Wall and graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So President Biden actually had an interview with ABC News on yesterday, and was basically talking about how this is on Wednesday, and basically talking about how there is a first in dealing with the deal with Afghanistan to withdraw U.S. troops by May 1st. And he said he might not honor that agreement, you know, in saying that it wasn't, the negotiation itself wasn't a very solidly planned deal, solidly negotiated deal. Currently, there are 3,500 troops from the U.S. in Afghanistan, and we're 20 years removed from the U.S.-led invasion of Afghanistan that's led to the death of millions. But also on the flip side, he also talked about Vladimir Putin and said that he's going to pay a price for meddling in the elections from 2016. Now, this actually caused Russia to recall the Russian ambassador to the U.S. that's actually here. So they got him up out of there. And also, he while interviewing with George Stephanopoulos, he was basically asking, he was like, so you know, you think, so this Vladimir Putin, you know, you think he's a killer? Biden's like, I do. So Stephanopoulos is like, well, what price is he going to pay? And then Biden says, well, you know, the price is going to pay, well, you know, you'll see soon. So those are threats, man. We'll see what comes from that. Green Wall and graduation, though. Streets report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So, earlier this month, Senate Democrats had introduced sweeping voter rights legislation that would actually increase voter participation, you know what I'm saying, make increase voting access, to hold members of Congress as well as the Supreme Court to ethical standards of like reporting information and being honest. And then also it will create more public funding for candidates, and it'll also force the disclosure of any dark money donors. Now, you have the Republicans though that have actually vowed to filibuster on this bill, which is called the For the People Act. So filibuster means they're gonna use their time as senators to talk on the floor, and they're gonna overextend it in order to prevent a vote on the actual bill. So ironic, leave it to Republicans to be against something that's for the people, you know what I mean? And then you have Senator Raphael Warnock, the black dude that actually won in Georgia, who for the first time in as speaking as senator, speaking on the Senate floor, basically saying, yo, Republicans have introduced over 250 voter suppression laws on a state level all throughout the country since the election, under the pretext of under the big lie of voter fraud, which is the same pretext that caused the insurrection at this very Capitol that he was speaking from. So, you know what I mean? And drop the mic on that shit. So, you know, that's something for y'all Republicans and y'all MAGA supporters to really think about. I mean, do y'all really love this country? You know what I'm saying? Like, then why y'all got so many problems with it? You know? Green wall graduation, though. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report, man. Make sure you check out my mixtape at @still_I_grind. It's actually a page on Instagram. It's the mixtape that keeps on giving. But you can also watch the original mixtape on YouTube. The link is actually in the Instagram bio. You can go to my YouTube page, Bishop Grady TV. And now on to this news though. You have the IRS actually extending the tax deadline to May 17th. So it's not April 15th for 2021. It's May 17th. After they basically have to deal with this crazy backlog of tax returns that they have to do. Now, even before the pandemic, the IRS had dealt with decades-long budget cuts that left it ridiculously understaffed. And even with it being understaffed, it's crazy because over the you have ProPublica reporting that over recent years, the audits against like rich people and these large corporations actually, you know what I mean, decreased significantly, while the ones against the poorer tax returners have actually remained comparatively high. So I wonder what that's about, you know? Green wall graduation. Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So Senator Bernie Sanders actually introduced the Excessive CEO Pay Act, which would actually tax corporations where the CEO makes more than 50 times of the median pay of its workers. So you have that. And then Sanders also sits on the Senate Budget Committee and actually had a hearing on the inequality crisis in the United States on Wednesday. And he actually called on Jeff Bezos to be there. Jeff Bezos being Amazon CEO and one of the two world's richest men, so they say. The other one being Elon Musk and all of that. He actually declined to be there, but Jennifer Bates, who's an Amazon worker, was there. She's actually somebody who may even start what might be the first union that the company ever had in Bessemer, Alabama. And, you know, she testified basically saying, you know, every day, you know, her 9-hour workday feels like an intense workout. You know what I mean? Anytime they track your every move, if your computer is scanning, that's looked at as time off, and you get charged for that. And how she learned on the onset that if you work too slow, or you know, you have too much time off in the computer, you'll get penalized or even fired. So, you know, it's a high stress environment. If anybody knows any Amazon work out of the world or the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So in the United Kingdom, you have Uber that is going to reclassify all 70,000 of its workers as employees, entitling them to holiday pay, to minimum wage pay, and other benefits. So the UK is the first country where Uber will adopt this business model, and this comes after a lawsuit that their Supreme Court had a ruling on last month that basically was brought by like a handful of drivers. It wasn't all the way sure that it was going to impact the whole business, and it has impacted the whole business in that country. So we will see. This may have implications for what's going on in the United States. You know, there were already issues brought up, legislation proposed for Uber and Lyft and gig economy companies to actually have classify their employees as employees, their workers as employees, pardon me. So we'll see if that maybe sends a labor's rights wave this way. Green Wall and Graduation. Streets Report out of the world, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. Getting late, but you know, I think you can still see me crystal clear, at least hear what I'm saying clearly. You actually have in the United Kingdom, again, you have, they're actually going to start recording crimes that are motivated by a person's sex or gender as hate crimes. Now, this move isn't yet permanent, but it actually is coming around the time where conservatives are trying to push legislation so that that actually increases the powers of the police and gives them the ability to crack down on peaceful protests. So keep in mind, on Saturday, I told y'all about how they had that this large vigil for a 33-year-old Sarah Everett, who was killed earlier this month, likely by a police officer. So this is obviously alarming to a lot of people. You got Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, on Monday, basically giving the police powers to, or announcing plans for the police to be in plain clothes, so that they could be in bars and nightclubs in plain clothes and basically patrolling and trying to protect women from sexual violence. And this is something that's like shut down by a lot of people, rights groups, women across Britain. Like, nah, what the fuck you talking about? You gonna have like some undercover cops now all in our shit just because they're supposed to be trying to protect us? When, like with Sarah Everett, they were the ones that are harming us. Don't make no fucking sense, so they not having it. We'll see how that turns out. Green Wall Graduation. Report of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report. So over in Japan, you actually had the Japanese court ruling for the first time on Wednesday that the country's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. So this is obviously for them a major win for the LGBTQ plus community, you know, because it's a lot of letters that sometimes be following that shit, numbers too, you know. But nevertheless, it's still an uphill battle towards making something like that legal in there, but it's still looked at as a major move, possibly a pivotal moment. So we'll see how this turns out. Green Wall Graduation. Of the New World, though, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Files News Report, man. Shit already hot in the motherfucking Oval Office. Soon as every time a black leader is in there, man, you talking about in her official residence, the official residence of Vice President Kamala Harris, there was actually a man that was arrested who was heavily armed, arrested by the U.S. Secret Service after they got an intelligence bulletin coming from Texas. They actually came down on this dude who had a rifle and ammunition in his vehicle. 31-year-old San Antonio resident Paul Murray. So, you know, and they really not even showing his picture out here like that, like they need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like they would if it was some other, you know, on another type of time. But you know, it means saying, you know, what do you expect? Green Wall Graduation, man.